Brent, what improvement did you see from Sharif Miller, and how much more does he have to improve to be a starter, Dean?
You know, I think Sharif's a young guy with so much promise and talent. We saw that last fall. We saw that this spring. Like Kevin, he's still growing into the position. He's learning the position. He's beginning to trust the techniques, trust his reads. We still got some work to do there. You know, for all these guys that are second and third year guys, redshirt, that game experience is invaluable. Those guys know that.
Sharif just said over there that his two goals for 2017 is one to be a starter and two to be a leader on the defensive line. How close is he to accomplishing both of those things?
He's certainly in the mix to do both those things. I think Sharif is a very hard worker. I love his practice approach, and that's why he's getting better. He's a talented guy. I think he's got a chance to be one of the most well-rounded ends we've had in our time here. We've had some good ones. He's physical, he can run, he's got rush ability, he's playing in the framework more and more each day. So we're very excited about Sharif.
Thanks, Brent. With Cabinda specifically, what stood out to you the most after he came back from the injury last year, and how ready is he to take command of the linebackers?
Yeah, he's such a professional in the field. He's a true commander. He loves being the guy in the middle of the defense, and he loves things being on his back. And I think that's the guy you got to have in there. And didn't matter 4 or 5 weeks off, coming back. I mean, he wanted to be out there, and the opportunity came against Ohio State, and he absolutely made the most of it. It's the kind of guy he is. He's a player, and he practices his butt off. He works like crazy. If there's a liability, he eliminates it. He's cut weight, he's gotten faster, he's gotten better in space. I look for Jason to have a really good senior year.
Brent, can you describe the progress that Lamont Wade has made in the short time that he's been here?
Very impressed with Lamont. The maturity, the way he approaches practice, his work ethic. The guy should be getting ready for the prom, and he's out there competing against Jawan Johnson and these guys. And he's just an impressive guy. He can handle a poor play and bounce right back. He's got a lot of confidence for a young guy. He reminds me a lot of John Reed and how he studies the game, learns from his mistakes. He's what I would call a tell-him-once guy. He doesn't make many mistakes twice. So we're very excited about Lamont.
Brent, I wanted to ask about Koa Farm. Does he know how good he can be yet? Because he seems like he has every tool you could want from the linebacker.
Yeah, Koa is, he's a unique guy. And he's still, I think he's played his best football this spring, without a doubt. He's finally gotten comfortable at a position. He's been able to take the techniques and really learn and become a better linebacker. He's gotten more physical, grown that way a bunch. He's got such savvy in the pass game, from being a safety, from being an offensive player in high school. He really gets it out there in space. When we plussed him to the box, he was a liability last year. That's why we blitzed him a lot. And now he comes in there and he's as confident and as capable as Cabinda and Manny and those guys. So I'm very excited about it. Not to mention he's gained a bunch of weight, and he's striking and just playing more physical.
You guys played a lot of personnel last year. I guess, do you foresee that being the same in the fall? And if you guys had to play, the opening game tomorrow, how many guys are ready to go in each position group? And I guess
that's still a work in progress. We'll see where that goes. We want to play a lot of guys. I think that's key for us. It's been a key up front, certainly. Just like last year at linebacker, I think you got to prepare a big group of guys to be ready to go. We've been able to do that, from Brandon Smith to the guys that had to Troy Apke last year when the league went down. I mean, the way we roll the guys up front, we're going to build depth. We're going to play guys.
Brent, how you doing?
What's up, brother?
You guys were coming from behind most of the year last year. Has that been a mindset that you've tried to kind of establish in the spring?
Yeah, we wanted to start practices and particularly scrimmages out on a better note. We've looked at what we've called early in games. We've looked at why we weren't successful. Came down to execution more than anything. Getting our focus early on, matching the speed and the mindset of the offense a little bit. So I think we've made some progress there. We're not where we need to be, but we won't know till that first ball game. We got to come out of the gate better.
Do you see, because of the success you guys had, people are going to be ready right away? Also, the teams are playing.
I think so. You know, there might be a little bigger bullseye on us, than there's been in the past. I think also we've got more competition on our team. We've got guys pushing each other a little bit harder. We've got better depth, so I think we're producing a better product ourselves. So it's going to be interesting.
Has James asked more of you guys than the 6 or 7 years he's the staff than he's ever had? Has he ratcheted up that way, like he's asking everyone
I
else?
think that's how we always operate. You know, we're on all cylinders, and he leads the way. You know, nobody outworks him, to be honest. We don't step off the gas. It seems like the Big Ten championship was a couple of years ago, to be honest. You know, from recruiting to developing, some spots that we need to, to fill for next fall. So there's no looking back, and it's full steam ahead.
So he's raised the bar for you guys.
I think every year that happens. And I think we got to figure out ways where we can be better. And we work very hard at that. And address the issues and where can we be better on all fronts. That's a daily conversation.